Maybe it's your first property, maybe it's your fifth property, or maybe you already have 10 or more properties. If buying a new rental property is in your future this year, then you're in the right place. Because in this video, I want to talk about actionable steps that will get you from where you are today to the settlement table signing on your next rental property. So stay tuned. Hey guys, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Sue Richey. I am an investor. I'm also the owner of Richey Property Management. We're a residential brokerage and property management company in the Washington, D.C. suburbs in Northern Virginia. So we help a lot of investors look for, purchase, and then manage rental property. We've done a lot of that ourselves over the years as well. And it's interesting because I've been thinking about recently how I want to get another property, maybe a few more this year. There could be definitely some opportunities coming up this year and even into 2022. That's hard to say. Hard to believe it will be 20. Anyway, I have been thinking about that a lot, and it's funny because it's like the things that you think about a lot and that you focus on are those things that kind of come into your life. I know that sounds a little bit woo-woo, but I am definitely a believer in that. It's kind of like The Secret. I remember watching that a while ago thinking that was kind of cool, but I also believe that you actually have to take steps. You can't just think about things and they happen. They definitely kind of happen, but you have to do things. So for me, recently I've been thinking about investing again, adding more properties to our portfolio. We have a number of them. Like I said, we bought and sold a number over the years, but as I've been doing more and more research, I've been getting calls from a lot of investors wanting to work with us to buy properties in the Northern Virginia area. So it's kind of cool. I think it's going to be a unique time coming up that we're going to definitely see some more opportunities. Right now, inventory is still pretty scarce, so it's competitive. I'm not sure that this is exactly the right time to be doing that, but definitely be a good time to do research, find out what you need. And so that brings us to this point. If buying a rental property is something you want to do this year, here's some steps that I would suggest you start with, especially if this is your first property. Okay, so the first step I would tell you to do is to set goals. Set a goal for what you actually want. And I know setting goals everybody tells you to set goals, but I've always been a big believer in goals and how important they are. And it's interesting because I used to always think of it like that's where you really, really have to get and why the goals are important. But I listened to a lot of podcasts, but one of the ones that I listen to a lot is called The One Thing. Maybe some of you have listened to it too. It's really great. It's a lot of good content, but one thing they talk about in it is it kind of shifted my mind on how to think about goals. And that is that they say that it's not the goal that is, and whether you achieve that goal, that's the most important thing. It's just the thing that sort of keeps you on track. It's something that defines steps you take each day towards it. And it helps to keep you focused. So it's not always just about achieving it, but just having the goal is important to help you on a daily basis to keep your plan and keep your focus. So let's get back to what you need to do as far as buying a rental property. You've also probably heard about SMART goals. When you're looking for a rental property, you need to be really specific. It's good to say, yeah, I want to buy a rental property this year, but really drill down and define what that means. Do you want a specific area? What is the price that you can afford? What kind of rent does that property need to make? Are you really focused on cash flow, or are you okay with, kind of a break even, and that this is undervalued and you'll get some appreciation or some equity very soon if you do some fix up? Think about what all those things are, and the more laser focused you are, the more likely you are to get there, and the more likely those kinds of properties will come into your radar, and you can be very specific when you're telling people what you're looking for. So really think about what that is and be super specific. Okay, so the second thing I would tell you to do is to build a network. Like anything, it takes a village. You can't do any of these things on your own necessarily. You might think you can, but you really need other people out there knowing what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish who can help you. So for example, you want to get a realtor. And I would definitely look for a realtor who really understands investment property. You can look for a property management company. So we are a management company. We have a big background, an extensive background in sales. So we're I feel like we have a good combination of things to offer our clients, because we do understand sales, and we've done this for more than 20 years, but we really understand neighborhoods and rental values and all of these things. So look for somebody like that who can be a valuable consultant, an asset for you, who's kind of looking out there for the type of thing that you want. You also want to look for other professionals like an inspector. You may come across a home that needs a bunch of work. Before you do something, that's a good idea to bring somebody like that in, or other professionals, other vendors like an electrician, a plumber, to see what you're talking about in terms of cost and what they recommend you do, because you may look at it, you have no idea what something might cost. In order for you to do the numbers on a property, you need real numbers, you need those figures. So have those kinds of people in your network. The third thing I would tell you to do is to get involved. Get involved in meetup groups for investors. There's tons of them wherever you live, I'm sure. In our area, there are quite a few. There's also other bigger types of investment groups, which are kind of all over the country. So I'm sure there's something in your backyard. If there isn't, maybe you can start one. But the more people you interact with, the better. And the more you'll learn, the more opportunities will come, to the forefront for you, and it will get you closer and closer to making that deal. The other thing I would tell you is to take some people to lunch. I've always been a big fan of taking someone to lunch, treating them to lunch, and really you will learn so much in that lunch that it's worth it, whatever the cost of that lunch is. That's not important. Look around at people that you see who are doing a lot of investments. Maybe I can think of a handful in our area that I know that are definitely big investors. Ask them to go to a cup of coffee. I know it's a little hard in this COVID environment to do that. Maybe you can just get on a Zoom. I don't know but as we kind of get more normal, get with some of those people and just ask them the questions that you want. Ask them what mistakes they made. Ask them what they've learned. Ask them for advice on what to do as you get started. They may know places that are good areas in your market that you should focus on and things like that. So that kind of knowledge is invaluable. So definitely take the time to do that as well. That will help you considerably. So I hope those few tips gave you a little bit of actionable steps and things to do to start to move forward. Obviously, there's a lot more research you need to consult with a lender and make sure that you can purchase a property in the right price range for you. There's a lot more to it, and we'll talk about that in future videos, but it was just kind of on my mind, especially as more and more investors were reaching out to us, and a lot of them had the same questions. What do I do? How do I get started? What do I think about? These are my fears. Those are a lot of the things that I'll be talking about in future videos, because everyone has those same questions. Everyone is worried about what happens if my tenant doesn't pay. That's been a big question in 2020 for us as a management company, but luckily we live in an area where we've had very little problem with that, unlike some other areas which have been much more affected. So anyway, if you're interested in this sort of content, hopefully you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, and if you hit that bell, you'll get notified every week when we do a new video. And if there's anything that you are interested in or that you'd like information on, or you'd like us to do a video on, please put it in the comments below, because I want to provide information for you and help you all be the best landlords that you can be if you own property, as well as help you take the right steps to make the investment dreams that you have come true. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.